2,000 years ago, light beings from higher dimensions appeared before a woman who had been meditating very deeply, seeking to purify herself. As a result of that, they told her that she had gotten their attention because of the intensity of her meditation. And as a result, they began teaching her a method of becoming a light being like they were. This is what we're going to talk about today, about the modern evolution of how they became gods, the forbidden 7-step system to achieving light body ascension. So I am, 2,000 years later, I am one of the last, if not the last person in a long line of Mao Shan practitioners. Now, Mao Shan over the millennia have branched out into other different areas. I am one that is part of the demon fighting or spirit fighting sect of the Mao Shan. So this isn't the only path to achieving immortality, but I've come to find out after communicating with my higher dimensional perfected immortals who are teaching me that they are seeking people who have a destiny to become spiritual warrior protectors. So what it means is, for somebody who masters this path, they will achieve light body, they will achieve ascension just like everybody else, and they will be given the opportunity, if they choose to become what many people would call guardian angels. Beings that have the ability to destroy negativity, to destroy evil entities, ghosts and demons, and to be able to be a force of tremendous transformation on this planet. I am one of those people, and I'm here to teach you a 7-step path to achieving that in today's Mao Shan spirit fighting practices. So, they became gods. Let's take talk a little bit about that. So before we get into it, we need to first have the right mindset. So we need to start with preparation. So the preparation is learning the true story of Earth. And that is that all humans were omnipotent gods before they incarnated. That includes you. You were an omnipotent, infinite God who chose to come here. So we must mentally accept the power that we are going to receive. So in order to receive this power, we prepare our mind to accept that your actual nature is that of an immortal God playing the part of a human on earth. So that may sound very nice and poetic and spiritual, but we're dead serious about that. So thinking how nice that is and reading that in some spiritual text somewhere is one thing. To actually absorb it and accept it, that is a whole other reality. So this is the introduction. If you start with that mindset, you will have a lot more success going forward. So let's start with step 1. So the first step in becoming a god is to prepare the body, the nervous system, and the energy centers for receiving higher dimensional lightning power, or the Shi. Now, this power is unique, and I haven't found it anywhere in the world, in any system, in any practice. That includes the most powerful Kundalini yoga, the most powerful Taoist Qigong. I have not found this. Come to find out that this is a very special energy that has been kept secret because it is so incredibly powerful. In fact, the first time that I even started looking into this and I felt this power, I kid you not, believe me or don't believe me, a light being appeared to me and said, "If you abuse this power, we will take it away from you." That's how powerful this is. And this is a power that the earth has not seen. There have been a handful of people throughout the centuries who have been given this knowledge, but it's been kept secret. So the first step is to prepare your body for this incredibly powerful energy. The way that we do that is we do the interdimensional meditation. Those are meditations that are free on this channel. So you just go to the live section every Wednesday and Saturday, 8:30 p.m. If you can't make it live, just click on the live section and go ahead and follow along with any of the archived versions. So we do interdimensional meditation. We do lightning qigong. Lightning qigong is it is something that I have created. I call it lightning qigong, but it is a combination of Kundalini yoga, of qigong, and of this Shi power, this Mao Shan energy practice. And that can be found here at thunderwizard.com, and you can get involved and do that. We'll talk about that later. So the lightning qigong will also prepare your body. Summoning the immortals qigong. That is a set that I created because as I started teaching this, I realized that unless somebody had felt this energy, watching me do these funny little movements doesn't mean anything. If they haven't actually felt the energy, they won't know the power of it. So I'm not here asking you to take my word for any of this. What I am asking you to do is to find out for yourself. Prove me wrong. So I created a set called the Summoning the Immortals. I did it only to help people find power and energy because I knew certain movements would create it. But as it turns out, I was actually channeling it because there have been people who have told me they've done this practice and beings have appeared to them. They've had dreams, the lights going on and off, all kinds of crazy things happening as these beings are telling them, this is powerful. This is connecting you to us. So that is how I suggest you go and prepare your body and find out if this energy is real or not. And then celestial qigong. Celestial qigong is the qigong that I created about 15 years ago as I was trying to find the most powerful movements and hand postures, and I created what I thought was qigong. It was actually shigong, because every time that I taught this to people who were Tai Chi masters, qigong masters, they said, I've never felt anything at this level ever. This is, these are masters. They've been doing it their whole life. They said, I've never felt anything at this high level. That was one of the first clues that I realized there's something different about this energy. I didn't know what it was then. I know what it is now, and I'm going to tell you what it is in this video. So to get yourself prepared, you do the interdimensional meditation, which is free. You can do the lightning qigong. You can do summoning the immortals, the celestial qigong. Those are all very easy to get your hands on and to do. They're very easy to do. That will prepare the body for this lightning power of the Mao Shan demon fighting energy. So step 2 is to purify and liberate the 5 element spirits of the body. So we open up the wood element, which is the liver. It's called the hun. Then we purify the metal, which is the lungs, called po. And then we purify the fire, which is the heart, which is called shen. We purify the water element, which is the kidneys, called ji. And the earth, which is connected to the spleen, and this is called yi. Each one of these 5 elements has a very important function. Now, these organs in your body, they're not just, flesh and blood. They're actually inhabited by gods, by the gods that control the 5 elements. Now, if you don't live in harmony with your 5 elements, those spirits leave. You can guess the rest of the story. You're going to have some kind of problem with one of your organs. So when you do the 5 element practices that we have, it actually purifies and empowers the 5 organs with higher dimensional energy. And then that makes the spirits that are already there become very happy and work with you. And if they've left, they come back. And now you've got these 5 elements. But it's more than just getting the 5 elements in the organs going. It's also getting these 5 elements to connect with the She power. And then you become masters of this 5 element. All of these 5 element spirits. So the way we do that is with the 5 element spirit fighting kung fu forms. So that find here maoshan.thunderwizard.com. So once you get your body prepared, which you don't have to spend a lot of time doing that. Listen, you can spend as much time as you want on any one of these steps. This isn't a religion. These aren't commandments. I'm not Moses. But you can also, you don't have to go slow. If you've done some work to purify your body, you can go straight into the 5 element spirit fighting sets. And that will purify your 5 elements. It will connect you to the 5 spirits, the gods that live in your organs. And then it will give you power over the elements on the spiritual plane. Okay, so you do the 5 element spirit fighting kung fu forms. That is step number 2. Step number 3 is you activate the ocean of infinite chi in the navel center and you connect it to the She, or the heart mind. Okay, so the ocean of infinite chi, life force energy, this is what your navel center is here for. That's why there's so much focus on the navel center in everything. Spiritual practices, even you want to sing, you have to focus on your navel. It's because this is the repository of the infinite ocean of life force energy, chi. So we seek to empower that, and again, we are seeking to purify this so it can shift up to a higher frequency. So we connect it to the electric energy surrounding the heart, which is the She, which we'll talk about in just a moment. So we activate the ocean of infinite chi in the navel center, connecting it to the She, which is the lightning energy in the heart mind. And with this set, we learn to manifest worlds with our energy. So this first set, which is called the Hands of Infinity, you're actually learning how to create this 3rd dimensional universe. So what happens when you learn how to create the 3rd dimensional universe? You can manifest things. You can manifest your reality. This is what this teaches you to do. This is what real mastery of the navel center means. This is why people talk about you got to have guts. I mean, these words don't come out of nowhere. Your navel is what gives you the power to live in this 3rd dimension and create reality. So we first have to get some mastery over that. And in order to do that, we do the first spirit fighting form, which is also called the Hands of Infinity. So moving on, we come to step 4, which is we release the heart mind, the Shin, to transcend the physical world and travel to higher spirit realms. Now, here's something you may not know. You have a goddess that lives here in your heart. It's the most important energy in your body. If this energy fails, you die immediately. So your heart is a stargate, and your spirit, which is called the Shen, your spirit is actually projected from higher dimensions, continuously projected into this 3rd dimensional body. Now your soul is higher dimensional. It can't function in the 3rd dimension. It's too small. It would destroy the 3rd dimension, and if it were forced into it, it would be too harsh. So the spirit needs the queen. The king needs the queen. This is an actual deity, an extremely powerful goddess. Each of us has a connection to her. And she, it's called she, but I mean she is a woman. She comes in and she surrounds your soul. She surrounds it with higher dimensional lightning energy, electromagnetic energy that is so powerful it destroys anything that isn't in perfect harmony, will destroy it on contact. She is a fierce protector of the soul. So you want to create a relationship with her. We do that on this channel a lot, and we're doing it even more, because the more that you can connect with her, the more power you can have in this third dimension. You want to be able to, and again, almost nobody in history has done this. And I don't know how many others, very few in the world have learned how to turn this energy and release it through the body. This is what you see is happening here in all of these movements that I'm doing. I'm activating that energy to come out of the hands and the body. So we release the heart mind, the Shin, to transcend the physical world and travel to higher spirit realms. So you also want this goddess to be able to travel. You want to release her so she can travel to higher spiritual realms. You want her to be able to go and look into other dimensions. You want her to be able to take you to other dimensions. You want her to be able to communicate to the higher dimensional councils and the gods, and she has the power to do that on your behalf. She can take you to meet them. She can bring them to you. So you need to release her to do that. And this is one of the things that we do in this fourth step here. So releasing the heart mind to transcend the physical world and travel to higher spirit realms, to face oneself in the true mirror and survive. So you don't know who you are if you're on Earth. You think that, my name is Michael Denny, I'm 62 years old, I live here, and I did this and I did that. That's not who I am. We just did a meditation last night to this goddess, and I suggested to everybody, including myself, ask her to tell you how she sees you. Now, when I did that, she said, you couldn't handle it. It's too much, it's too big. So she showed me just what I could handle, and it was unbelievable the way she saw me. Because she knows me. She knows who I truly am. Your Shin, your heart mind, that lightning energy knows who you truly are in the higher realms. She will reveal that to you if you're willing to look in that mirror. If you're willing to ruthlessly, fearlessly look into that mirror, she will show you who you truly are. And you will never be the same once that happens. So we do that in this fourth step, and the technology that we use is called the second spirit fighting form, or the butterfly. It's also called the mirror set. All right, so we've worked on the ocean of chi, which is the navel. We've worked on the heart mind, which is the heart. And then we get to step 5, opening the higher yi, the third eye. All right, so this is your third eye. It's also called, it's one of the placements of yi. Yi is translated a few different ways, but we're talking about the higher version of this, which is true spiritual intent. It means the ability to literally intend your reality. Your third eye gives you the ability to see the truth. Now, somebody whose higher yi has been opened is going to be a very ruthless person. And I don't mean that in a negative way. It means that this is somebody who will not compromise their own energy. So if you want to have the power to never be overtaken, controlled, abused by other people or other energies, you need to open up, activate this yi on the higher frequency. Now, this in and of itself is so pure and so powerful that demons will run from somebody whose higher yi is activated. Your higher intent. It's very difficult for anybody to get anything by you. You see through all of the garbage. Now you have to be willing to tolerate living in that. That means that your relationships are going to change. You're only going to be able to have relationships that serve you, because this won't allow you to anymore just allow yourself to compromise on things that are damaging to you. So this is one of the reasons that it's called the Assassin set. So we open the higher Yi, the third eye, which ruthlessly destroys the third dimensional ego. This is where you truly meet your true self on a higher level. You gain complete communion with your Shin, your heart mind. So this set, the third set, the Immortal set, or the Immortal Fist, this set will connect you so closely to your Shin, she might actually appear to you. So this is what happens to people who perfect this. Because opening up this third eye, now you're working all three of the energy centers, the navel, the heart, and the third eye. What the Taoists call the three pure ones, or the three ones. Once all of these centers, and gods live inside of those centers as well, once all these gods have awoken inside of you, then the Shin, the feminine heart-mind, incredibly powerful goddess, she will oftentimes appear to you. So when that happens, you are invincible. It means that you are no longer, there's no third dimensional nonsense that separates you from the protector of your soul. This is why this set is so incredibly powerful, and it's been secret for so long. So we achieve that by doing the third spirit fighting form, which is called the Immortal Fist. It's also called the Assassin Fist. And that is because, as I've said, when you open up that third eye, you become so clear on the truth that anything evil gets unalived. I'm not saying physically a human. I'm talking about evil spirits, ghosts, nonsense within yourself. Anybody tries to come at you with stuff, you're able to just destroy it. I could go on and on. It's probably the most powerful. If I had to pick one, the most powerful thing on earth would be this form. Okay, so that is the fifth step, the third spirit fighting form, or the Immortal Fist. Moving on to step 6. Now we're getting pretty close. This is mastering greater yin and yang to empower the light body and bring power to create the new earth and bring balance. So we're now moving from the yin and the yang of ourselves, and we're now moving into like a God state, where we're going to work with the external yin and yang of the entire universe. So this will give you power to have things happen in the world around you. And so there's a being that is known as the Dark Warrior of the North, and he is the master of yin and yang, the great yin and yang. This set is very special, and it has some differences to it. Up until now, we've been using just pure spirit fighting power. Now we're combining a lot of powers together. This is like really kind of the power of, the kind of power that emperors have. You have power over the army, the navy, you have power over the government, you have power over the bankers, you have power over the farmers, you have power over the whole thing. So that is step 6, mastering greater yin and yang, and you take rulership of your universe, and for that we do the set called the Dark Warrior of the North. There's another set in there which will give you spiritual powers. That's called the Spirit Fist form. So I've been working with this deity, the Dark Warrior of the North, and I asked him, because I had a small portion of a set that summoned him, and then I said, teach me a set. So the set that he started teaching me was very different from. There were a lot of similarities, but there were some things about it that were different. And I'm like, so I just went with it. And as it turns out, I did some more research on him, and I looked at other people who, other sects that had created forms based on him, and I saw what was going on. That you're dealing with the extremes. So this is a being that is so enormous, he has the extremes of everything within him, and he has control over this. He brings balance. Incredibly powerful being. So that's what we do here in number 6. Mastering greater yin and yang, we use the dark warrior of the north and the spirit fist forms for that. So the final step is we practice all of the previous 6 steps until you are free as possible of the third dimensional attachments. And what has happened is your physical body has absorbed enough of the Shi energy, the lightning energy, to change your body. You're now able to continue to communicate with immortal beings. So you guys hear about all the stories that I talk about, I talk to this being and that being, and that I didn't just wake up one day and that happened. It's because I've been doing this stuff for off and on for 30 plus years. So that opened up my meridians and my energy centers to be able to handle the communications. And now I have continuous communication with these beings, and I can choose to communicate with them. I have direct connection with the heart mind goddess. Her power is through the roof, and she communicates to me continuously. So if you want to have that, you can, and these practices are designed specifically for your physical instrument. Your higher dimensional soul is inside of this physical instrument. We're going to transform this physical instrument so that it actually becomes a lightning rod. It becomes a transceiver. You actually go, I'm glad I have this body, because in this body I have power to communicate and channel energies that you might not normally have if you were just a spirit floating around. So you actually want to shift this body to that level. And this is, again, we're talking about shifting to 5D, shifting to a light body. And this was the goal of all of these practices. I've been hearing these stories for 30 plus years about people who have mastered these things, and they leave this reality, they walk through walls, all kinds of crazy stuff. There was a point way back when I was training hardcore, and I did stuff that shouldn't have been possible. I experienced things that shouldn't have been possible. I've known my teachers had energy and did things that humans weren't supposed to be able to do. So this is a real thing. This is not this isn't some movie. This is real. And again, I encourage you to prove me wrong. And the way that you prove me wrong is by doing the practices, and you will find out whether or not this energy shows up or not. Even if you just try and copy this, what I'm doing right here, you will feel the energy. So if you do feel the energy, it means that you have a destiny for this. So I encourage you to become a part of it. There's ways to do it. We've talked through it, the 7 steps. The beginning way to do it is to do the 90-day Warrior Lightning Qigong, which you can find here at thunderwizard.com. Click on memberships and subscribe. It's a 3-phase course. You can go through it as fast or as slow as you like, but that will get you started. The Awakening the Immortals, or the Summoning the Immortals, is also here at thunderwizard.com in the shop. So in the beginning, I recommend you do both of those things. If you're like, I don't know if my body can handle it, if you need to detox and get your body prepared, that's how you get started. That's the beginner path. Do the 90-day Warrior Lightning Qigong, the Awakening the Immortals, the small quantum butterfly hands. That is phase 3 of the Warrior 90-day Lightning Qigong. Now, if you've already passed that, now you're getting into spirit fighting mode. And for that, we go to the 5-element spirit fighting sets. You can find those at the Patreon or the thunderwizard.com shop, or you can go to the website here and get all of them together, maoshan.thunderwizard.com. Now, if you have all 5 of those spirit fighting sets, then I invite you to come and subscribe to the Mao Shan Level 1 video course. Now, if you do that, that costs the same as the Warrior 90-Day Lightning Qigong, and you will have access to the entire Warrior 90-Day Lightning Qigong. If there's stuff you want to go in there and do and still do that every day. A lot of people do. They'll wake up every day and do that as their like morning yoga routine or whatever. You can still do that. The only requirement is that you have those 5 element spirit fighting sets and that you got them either through the shop here or at the thunderwizard.com website, or however you got them. And then the spirit fighting first set, that is available. That is the Hands of Infinity. You can find that at maoshan.thunderwizard.com. There's a couple of other little sets I've thrown in there. You can do those or not do those if you want. They just help. They give you more stuff to help you master these sets. So the intermediate, it's as far as we've gotten right now. So you do the 5 element spirit fighting, and then once you've got that down, you've got those down. You don't have to master them. You just have to have them down. You can move up to the first spirit fighting set. Then, once there's enough people that are doing that, I'm going to start teaching the other sets. I think I'm probably going to teach the Dark Warrior of the North set coming up soon. That's a good way to get introduced to the advanced set. If somebody was an intermediate or a beginner, they could still do that set. It won't interfere. But anyway, I don't want to overwhelm you. So that's what's going on right now. And then soon the advanced sets are going to be given out, which I've just given an intro to let you see little bits and pieces of it. The second and the third set, the Spirit Fist set, and the Dark Warrior of the North. So that's it. So they became gods through the forbidden 7-step system to achieving light body ascension. That's how it's manifested, and I'm telling you, I'm sincere. You don't have to believe me, but I'm telling you sincerely, this is what the light beings have told me. They've said, this is the new path. This is the new Mao Shan path. This is the new path for spirit fighters to ascend and become one of us. So if you want that, I'm here, and I'm here to help you do that. I am going to start having more seminars, live seminars. I'm already starting to begin working with students. You've already seen that already. That's going to continue. People can work with me in person privately if they're willing to pay the money and get here and work with me. They can. But eventually we're gonna start doing more live stuff, and every time that we do that, people who are willing to be filmed, I'm going to take that stuff and put it into the Mao Shan training videos in the Patreon site. So there's going to be plenty of stuff to learn. So that's it. I won't take up any more of your time. Thank you so much for taking the time to listen to me. I will see you all very soon. Please be very good to yourselves. Mao Shan spirit fighting forms, metaphysical martial arts. First set is called the Hands of Infinity. This set connects the navel dantian to the heart mind and gives power to create universes. The second set is called the Butterfly or the Mirror set. This set opens the heart mind, balances left and right brain, and opens the gate to the spirit world. third set is called the Immortal Fist or the Assassin Fist. Gives both complete invincibility to both human and spirit attacks, can give out-of-body experiences if mastered. The Spirit Fist is a short magical set that can give spiritual powers. Dark Warrior of the North is a combination of Qigong, Shigong, and Yigong. Gives power to all of the sets, brings total healing and strength to body, and gives psychic ability to intend reality. To learn these sets, go to maoshan.thunderwizard.com. After getting all 5-element spirit fighting sets, subscribe to the Mao Shan Level 1 videos at thunderwizard.com, my Patreon page. You will also have complete access to the Warrior 90-Day Lightning Qigong.